Hello, friends. This is jump-snail, and we're going to be taking a look at my end of the year reading and gaming journal for 2024. Take a quick look at 2023 and how it compares, and then my newest journal for 2025. So we'll start at the very end here. And I designed this in Canva and printed it on Lulu's website, lulu.com. So I didn't know exactly what I wanted when I started this. So you're going to see a lot of things that don't come back around. I had a lot of monthlies that I eventually gave up on. So you can see in December, they're really cute, but it was just a lot to keep up with. My list of all of the books that I read and their ratings in the order that I happen to read them in. I don't necessarily think that this is terrible. I just think that this kind of thing is not for me. I'd rather just have the review and everything in the same place. As you can see, it's also kind of you never know how much you're gonna need. These are my games that I read, and these are my game reviews. And I keep kind of the similar vibe going for the next one. And we'll see if I do that in 2025. I'll probably do something similar to it. But since it's all my own stuff and not Canva produced, then okay. Yearly stats, these are things that take I take forward into 2024, and I keep doing in 2025. I have a whole thing for that. So pretty straightforward. I keep a lot of the same things. We'll see. I'll stop explaining. So this is our 2024. I also did another one of these. I don't know, I think they're fun to do, but I don't really keep track of that. Again, this was designed in Canva. This is actually my own artwork. And it was printed on lulu.com. I tried a larger size, as you can see. This one's more of a B5, I think, size, with uncoated papers, which were easier to write on. I did try to keep a monthly look because I really like this kind of two spread where I have the month at a glance and then the stats for the month. You'll see that towards the end of the year, I did not keep up with this. So again, this is a work in progress. I, I I really dislike doing these things. They're also necessary though for my stats. So going forward, I'll probably just do it on a scrap of the paper. Um, it's not something that I particularly enjoy about them. You can see kind of kept this sort of anime city theme going. Like it was really pretty fun to design, but for some of these pages that require a lot of ink, if there wasn't white space, it's really hard to write on these. This is one of my favorites. And around here, let's see where you can see where I started to give up. This is where I kind of stopped doing things. I did eventually go back and take these down for my stats page, but I didn't bother going back. You can see where I messed up print by putting that extra page here. which throws off my whole two-page that I really liked. But say la vie. See, these don't have anything in them, and I am just going to not go back and do them so I can keep moving forward. Here are the yearly stats. Um, and if I had done the file correctly and got it printed correctly, then these would be on a two-page spread. But this is what we have. Here is my list of games that I played. I also didn't really keep up with this. This is not a thing that I want to keep going forward. It's an unnecessary thing for me that I have to keep up with. And I'm going to try to be absurdly simple in 2025 and keep mostly just things that are more helpful and less work. I did still really enjoy doing all of my spreads here. I like printing out my little pictures from the games that I play, and I will keep doing that even while I am going back to doing reviews for the books that I read. So I want to do both for 2025, and I felt that it was a lot easier and more fun for me to do a my own design journal and not have it printed this year. But we'll see what next year brings on my demo. And the other thing is I almost ran out of pages. I actually just kind of stopped playing games because I had one page left. I used up all the pages. And then, have these extra things. I do really like how this turned out. Don't get me wrong. This is going to be my 2025 um, reading and gaming journal. And this is Zenart supplies. It's just one that I found on Amazon. It's kind of like Archer and Olive. It lays flat. It's got these cool like sprayed edges with the design. But it lays flat, so it'll be easier to write in. But I didn't want to pay Archer and Olive prices. So we have the index because they always come with an index. This is some of the idea of stuff that I have. I will fill this out either at the end of the year or as I go on, depending on how that ends. I need to finish doing this. I just inked it yesterday, and I wasn't sure if I was going to use this or a pre-made reading journal slash planner that I had, so I'll probably save that. It's undated. Um, I have my listed arcs because one of my goals this year is to read more arcs, but also make sure I review them and everything to get my score back up. So I have my archive date, so you can make sure I read it by then. I can leave the date that I read them, title and author, and the date that they are going to be released. This is my series tracker because I want to read more of these, do progress on these. Some of those might not be possible. It depends on if they're out with new stuff or if I can find them. Um, so yeah, those are those. Here is my bookshelf, my bookshelfie. I just think these look really fun, so I decided to draw my own and have fun with that since I didn't have a printed one. I just used some watercolor and um, combo markers and some different stickers and ephemera that I had lying about. I haven't decided if my key is going to be my type of books. I think that's probably what it's going to be. So it'd be like ebook, audiobook, books you own, library books, that kind of thing. Or if I'll do some other sort of slant I haven't thought of. I don't really think I'd enjoy the whole genre coloring thing. I don't read that widely, I feel like. Anyway, um, So I really love this page. And going forward, I read a lot of library books. So these are going to be my library reads. I have my magical reference desk and my fold out here. So I can have all of my library books. Um, these will be little book covers that I have printed out. You'll see it a little further in. And I'll put my book covers in the blank spaces here. And I'll leave my star review like on the shelves. So it'll be just a fun way that I can look at stuff. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with this page. It was supposed to be a two-parter here, but I don't have that many books that I want to buy, and I don't have that many books now to get rid of. So I didn't need 2 pages for these. I'll probably just do something fun with this. My book bracket. In my past one, I didn't do a book bracket. However, I did have my favorites for each month. I haven't really picked a favorite. Um, but I'll essentially do the same thing where I'll pick my favorite of the month and enter into my book bracket, and they're in uh, quarters here. So I'll have these, do battle with these, and then pick my top book at the end of it. Here's my correct 2-page layout of my stats that I still somehow messed up. So I have the months listed on the left here, and I have at the top the pages, books, audio, ebooks, owned, etc., etc. I didn't leave any space at the bottom for totals. So at the end, I have my totals, and I have the pages, books, audio, ebooks, and all those lined up here. It's really unfortunate. I really liked how this looked, and mistakes happen. We gotta live with them. I love these pages. So I have my book awards that I'm going to put down here. This is just my fun little intro spread with a bunch of stickers. And I used my washi tape and printed out my different titles. So I can do one or two or just writing in or whatever, however many books that I want to do. The biggest surprise, the most hyped, biggest letdown, most read author, just out of my year. I I don't know what that would end up unless I get into some manga maybe. Um, Worst book, most read genre. I can already tell you it's probably gonna be fantasy. Best cover, worst cover. I think these are fun because you already read the book and it's just the least and most liked covers there. Um, Best premise, best series, best standalone, best duology, because there's always those. Best in indie. I want to read some more indie authors this year, so I'm looking forward to this. Best romance, and that doesn't necessarily have to be romance books. It's talking about romance in whatever you're reading. Um, Best in debut, like best debut author. Um, Best world or setting. This is obviously these are all so they're so biased as to what you enjoy out of things and like what's your thing. Best main character, best villain, best side character or characters, there's an S there, and best ending. So just think it's fun to kind of fill in, think about, and do however. I don't have a lot of fun extra stuff because I'm trying to be simple here. Um, did I skip it? I skipped it. How did I skip it? Oh man, I'm sorry. It's funny, I skipped right past it. This is going to be my reading forecast. I do terribly with having a list of books to read that I need to read. It makes me want to read anything else it makes me want to read the dictionary more than anything on that list. So this is a suggestion and a fun way to implement it. Um, so I'll have my own books to read, as you can see right here. I have some of these already printed out. Um, so I can just pick a book that I read, that I read. I can just pick a book that I own, that I want to read, that I feel like reading, and say I want to read Jasper Ford. So I can put my Jasper Ford up there, and I will look at the author's weather for the time that I read or finished that book, and I can put the weather down here. It's kind of a fun extra little thing that doesn't really have any meaning or bearing on anything else. And those will kind of be aligned like this. So I'll have like an area for weather, and we can go forward and do that. And I have a couple of other book book covers that I need to add to that and keep in here just as an incentive for me to read them. I don't know. I've had a lot of fun with these little like fold out pages, as you can see. I skipped it because it goes right over here. So we will continue back to there. Here, this is going to be my January shelf for my books. So I'll draw a spine here and write what it is, and have it colored in. Before I do all that, for the month of January, I'm going to write each of the books here, just so I can do it at the end of the month or the beginning of February. Kind of one of those things. And here, I'll peel this up. Oh, I still need to do some stickers for that. Here will be the book stats. I'm going to try and keep up with these. We'll see how I do these. I might just keep tallies in each of these things so I don't have to really think about these. But I temporarily have these little pages set up so I can just write on them and worry about how it looks afterwards. And again, I'm unsure how this is going to go. I have for my games, I'll have my games that I did in January. And this is supposed to be like a list where I can write them. But I don't think I'm going to do anything specific for these because I don't feel like I'm going to be doing enough for two spread. I don't know. We'll see. But I didn't want to have my January games and then have to, mess up the next one because we go into the February. Because I don't want to run out of space. We have all of our months front loaded and it looks exactly like January. So February games, then we go to March and we go further. Sorry about the car alarm if you can hear that. Into December. We have our December games. And this is for reviews. This going forward is for reviews, and they will just be either one page or part of a page or double page, depending on how I felt about it, what I want to write about it. It's going to be both my books and games. So my games will probably be like one page or maybe even half of a page, depending. And my book ones are going to be anywhere from half of a page to 2 pages, just depending on how much I enjoyed it, how much I have to say about it, those kind of things. And I have a fair number of pages left. This will be more organic to do as I go. I'm looking forward to using a lot of stickers. I'm looking forward to using my washi tapes. A lot of the new stuff that I have been using, you saw in the front here. So we will see how that turns out. And it feels so simple. compared to what I've done previously and what other people are doing. But it's more so I want to keep my stuff simple so I can keep up with it because I just kind of fall off. And I do that. I've done that for a few years now. Um, at least I did finish out my reviews for my games, but I just around summer I think is when I start. There's May, yeah, June. I just start falling off of doing things. So that is all of our stuff for 2024. I am looking forward to seeing what everyone else is doing for their reading journals. And if you have any thoughts or suggestions, make sure to leave a comment. And if you made it all the way through my rambling, leave a little cat emoji or tell me about your cat. If you have a cat, please tell me your cats. I will see you next time. Happy reading. Bye bye.